my dad's a minister, and I was raised very religious. Very, very religious. And there's a lot of downside to being raised very religious. But on the bright side, there is no upside. Just, none. Right? There's a lot of shit that gets pounded into your head that you got to get rid of. And I've been working on it. But I didn't even get it the worst. Of all the people I saw affected by people being dumb because of religion, was my friend Derek. When we were 14, we went to church camp. And on the second night of church camp, Derek fell out on his back during the service, like fell onto his back, and he started shaking and kind of growling, like he tensed up, real tense. He was just like that. And the youth pastor, the grown-up man who was in charge of all of us, saw this and immediately diagnosed Derek as having been possessed by a demon. Right? He lunged past any plausible medical explanation and jumped straight to demon possession. There's like 300 kids at this camp. There's a doctor on site. You should call him first. Call the doctor first, and if the doctor shows up and is like, I don't know what the fuck this is, but I'm open to suggestion, then you go, I was thinking maybe it was a demon. Right? And then the doctor will be like, maybe, I don't know. I went to school, and I've never seen this before. Right? And I want to put it in context. This was 1992. All right? I said demon possession. I don't want anybody to think this was the 1300s or a fucking dream I had. This was the day after we all had watched Wayne's World. So he's got a demon in him, and the youth pastor decides he's going to exorcise this demon. And he does it in the way that it happened in the Bible one time. One time in the Bible, there was a guy with a demon. And then Jesus was like, what's your demon name? And the demon told him its name. And Jesus called him by that name, and he had to do what he said. That's like a loophole or a life hack for demon possession. Right? You get the demon to tell you its demon name, and then you call him that, he has to do what you say. Just, you guys should know. Just in case. So that's what he's doing. He's standing on top of this kid and he's yelling, what's your name? What's your name? And the kid is on the ground and he's like this. He's like, Derek. Right? His name was Derek, so he wasn't wrong again. Like he was like, I'm Derek. And the youth pastor's like, what's your demon name? And the kid's like, what? I'm Derek. Right? What do you mean? You drove me here. So this goes on for a few minutes. What's your demon name? And the kid's like, Derek, please stop. And after a few minutes of getting no traction on this demon name situation, what the youth pastor decided, instead of thinking, maybe I jumped the gun and perhaps it is not a demon, what he then decided was that he had stumbled upon one of the world's greatest coincidences, wherein a boy named Derek had been possessed by a demon who was also named Derek. Yeah, like the devil had to update his demon gang for the early 90s. Come up with some cool hip demons. All them old ones are getting people to kill neighborhood cats, and he needs someone to be like, hey, you should smoke cigarettes and listen to Pearl Jam. Right? Turn your hat backwards. That'll piss off your dad. So now it turns into this guy, the youth pastor, yelling at the kid, Derek, get out. Derek, get out. And Derek is just like, what? I'm Derek. Derek, get out. I'm Derek. It was like the best improv show I'd ever seen. And after a few minutes of that, Derek just stops shaking and stops growling, and he untenses, like he collects himself. He gets up. He seems to be fine. And the youth pastor then told all of us, including Derek, that the demon had just gone back to sleep inside Derek. The demon had gone back dormant, but it was still there. And then he told all of us. And then, like, that's fucked up. Derek had to spend a long time thinking there was a demon inside him that could pop off at any moment. Now, I do want you guys to know this. I have a mutual friend with Derek, so I checked up. Turns out, he was epileptic. Right? Can you imagine such a plausible medical explanation? Right? So what Derek did was he found a real doctor, he takes medicine, he works at a bank, he's married, he has kids, he's doing fine. I don't want anybody leaving here thinking, what was it, a demon? It wasn't. It was epilepsy, something that I probably could have thought of when I was 14. But the fucked up part about it is he told us all there was a demon inside that kid, and then he just let Derek stay at church camp for the rest of that week. He just let us hang out with Derek. Like, you don't call his mom or send him home? There's a demon inside him, right? You sent someone home last year for saying fuck. And it's either like, and now it's just a horse race. You either send the kid with a demon inside him, or that comes back and you send the rest of us home for saying fuck. There's no way I'm not saying fuck if that demon comes back again. What the fuck? I shared a bunk with Derek. He slept on top. I slept on the bottom. The rest of that week, every time he rustled, I'd have to be like, is that still you? Or is that other Derek that really fucks shit up? So either the youth pastor knew he was full of shit the entire time. Put this kid's life in danger to fucking scare us all straight. Or he really believed there was a demon inside that kid. And he couldn't get any traction on exercising it, so he just gave up. Right? Where's your faith, man? If you believe there's a real demon in that kid, then you gotta put your money where your mouth is. Murder that kid.